foundation, it's Nakosa, and it's also Beyond Zero. So today I'll be talking about the advocacy program and HIV and TB, key and vulnerable populations at district level. Okay, so this is the definition. Okay. The definition of advocacy. So advocacy is a continuous and adaptive process of gathering and presenting information to targeted audiences to influence and inspire change. It is an act or process of people influencing public policy, laws, and perceptions by using facts, including evidence generated through community-based monitoring. So later on, I'll touch on what is community-based monitoring, their relationships, the media, and messaging to educate government, development partners, and the public on the changes they want to bring about. Okay, so this is a program summary of the advocacy program. So the program objectives are as follows: to strengthen the role of civil society and communities in improving the effectiveness of health, social, and justice services for AGYW, sex workers, people using and injecting drugs, males who have sex with males, transgender, people living with HIV, and people with TB, as well as TB survivors. So under the advocacy program, these are the program areas that we specifically deal with. Okay? The second point, to facilitate for advocacy interventions aimed at increasing availability, accessibility, quality, and responsiveness of health and justice services for key and vulnerable populations. So throughout my presentations, you might see this point here or this statement here. So the advocacy program in general is centered around this statement here, as well as the advocacy strategy as well. So the third point, to contribute towards the multi-district implementation plans, and lastly, to develop and strengthen accountability and sustainability mechanisms through community-based monitoring and community response systems. So in terms of the National Strategic Plan, the advocacy program was derived from goal number 3, which reads to reach all key and vulnerable populations with services that are tailored to their specific needs. Okay, so community-based monitoring is also a component that is linked to the advocacy program. And basically what it entails is community-based monitoring is a community-led process through which service users gather and analyze and use information on services or information on local conditions that impact service provision, feedback on the performance of services in order to inform and catalyze problem solving at the local level. So in total, community scorecards, mystery clients, service user exit surveys, and other beneficiary satisfaction surveys. So what we expect from all our advocacy IPOs is that they will be using community-based monitoring in terms of their program area. So if they are dealing with AGYW, they'll use community-based monitoring. So it's an aspect which is included under the advocacy program. In a period of 6 months, they have to be involved in stakeholder meetings. That's what point number C refers to. They have to be involved in stakeholder meetings and engagements in order to find solutions and resolutions pertaining to those two situations or issues that they have identified. With other community-based organizations and other NGOs within their communities. And they are also encouraged to have provincial meetings they're encouraged to have meetings at local, district, and also national levels, just giving feedback on basically what they've been doing throughout that quarter or throughout that semester. All right. And the last point under point C, mainstream media, social media, and mobile phones. So what we are also planning to do under the advocacy program is that we have hired outsourced a consultant that will go to all our IPOs and train them on media, because we also want to incorporate the use of media when it comes to the advocacy program, just for impact. And most people nowadays rely very much on media, such as your radio, social media, etc. Because we do encourage all our implementing organizations to work together, to collaborate, and to just assist each other during the duration of this program. And because at the end of the day, we're all trying to reach a common goal, and it's not just Tholwana overall, it's other IPOs that also deal with MSM. So it's one of the issues that also needs to be dealt with, not specifically by Tholwana, but also at national level. And the third one, they've also participated in an I Am Human Awareness campaign, which is an ongoing activity. And the purpose of that is to sensitize communities about the rights of MSM and gay men. Police stations are too far as well, and also discrimination when men report cases, and discrimination and making jokes when men are abused by women. So in terms of this issue that they have identified, this is when the scorecards would come in, which is what I spoke about earlier. And what we're also planning to do, I mentioned earlier that we've also outsourced a consulting company that is going to sensitize law officials and also sensitize the judiciary system, also sensitize healthcare workers in cases like this, for instance. So when Tholwana conducts outreach activities and they refer MSM to hospitals, for example, or to the SAPS knows exactly how to approach and how to lead the situation because they would have been sensitized, and to also avoid and combat such issues in the near future. So that is also an ongoing process on AFSA's side. And in terms of help, what they have identified is long queues in health facilities, shortage of staff, health facilities are too far, and no confidentiality, and men not treated fairly. So also this is mostly a health issue, and we do realize that not issues can be rectified or resolved by the organization. For example, this issue is not an issue that Tholwana can directly intervene and resolve themselves. Hence why AFSA has also signed an MOU with the National Department of Health, and that way it's important that these issues are also relayed by organizations when they do participate in meetings such as these and other stakeholder meetings and other PCA meetings that they will be and are invited to, so that the National Department of Health also addresses such issues and something is done about them. Few partnerships and a few engagements that Tholwana has been involved in. And in terms of relationships with partners, Tholwana is in the process of signing a working agreement with some of the partners and have already started rolling out some of the implementation plans, such as implementation plans with Rainbow Seeds. And what I was very impressed with yesterday when I went to go visit Tholwana is that they are also, they're very involved when it comes to social media, more specifically Facebook. They have a Facebook page, and they are very involved with the public and with the community at large, which is very impressive. And also they have been working with radio stations within their district, within their community, which is very good as well, and it is also a sign of impact on its own. Department of Health, and what that's basically going to do, it's going to assist both our organizations, Tholwana and Positive Action Campaign, for them to be able to implement smoothly. And when they do refer any of their key populations to clinics, for example, the clinics would have been made very well aware of what Tholwana is doing, for instance. And if they cannot assist them, they can also refer to other departments or other spheres of government as well. And also just to touch is that in terms of the implementation process, we have organizations, we have other sub-recipient organizations that are also implementing here within Free State. And what we have encouraged our IPOs such as Tholwana is that they must also form and have relationships with other organizations who are doing similar programs to what they are doing. Thank you very much.